The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go.
What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, yeah, guy. Something. Hit the keys. Here today to talk about a few issues in the music production community. Are some of us musicians entitled to think that we can get everything that we want? I don't know. Let's talk about it. So the first issue I want to talk about is, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know that there is a gentleman on Twitter named Eglo, who ended up leaking the FL 2020-24 crack version, and ImageLine came in and shut down all of his accounts. I'm talking about his Twitter account. I'm talking about his YouTube account. I think they shut down his IG. I think that all of his stuff got shut down because he leaked this. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, let's look here. So Eglo, it says here he was a 15-year-old minor FL Studio musician with 2 years of experience, right? So clearly here in this title, he's telling us he's been using FL Studio for 2 years. But if we scroll down here, I can't pull up the original tweets because his Twitter got deleted. But if you look down here again, Eglo, I found the crack of FL24. Yes, I have tested it and actually worked, which means this is the real crack. And then he shared it, which the post got 1.4 million engagements. So you can imagine how many people went and downloaded FL Studio 2024 for free. So after that, FL Studio responds, and let me pull this tweet up real quick. So FL Studio responds to his comment, "Your account will soon be the least of your worries." So they went down and they got everything shut down because obviously if you're going to share a free crack with over 1 million people, that's absolutely insane, you know? And then I had to make this video because I feel it's very irresponsible for a bunch of content creators and influencers to make videos justifying cracking plugins and cracking software and cracking DAWs and everything like that, because it's not justifiable. I mean, like, it's theft. And so it's not fair to these companies, whether you guys want to be like, oh, well, he's just saying it for this reason or not. No, it's because it's theft, you know? Like, I'm not here to crack plugins, and really I do all of this free stuff for you guys so that you guys don't have to crack the plugins. I do understand that FL Studio may be too expensive for some people because obviously people live in different countries and currency is different everywhere else, but there are so many different free tools that you can use. And I'm going to show you guys some of them here in just a minute. But why it's extra jacked up to crack FL Studio, of all the DAWs, of all the softwares that you can crack, is like FL Studio actually does the most for its community and for its people. So you can get FL Studio for $99. So here's the different tiers of FL Studio, right? You can get FL Studio for $99. You can get it for $179. You can get it for $269, or you can get it for $449. So they've got different tiers in which you can get. $99 isn't that bad. And then when Christmas comes around, you can upgrade for like $79, but normally they do like a half off sale. So it might be $40 to upgrade to the producer's edition. Now you've got an FL Studio for $140 and you get free updates for life. So once you pay for FL Studio one time, you never have to pay for it again. And then compared to all the other DAWs out there, they give you so many updates. They give you so much free stuff. They give you so much with the DAW. Like, they're always improving it. They're always adding extra tools. They're always doing extra stuff for you guys. And it's like, you guys, I mean, what if there comes a day where they just stop updating the program because they're sick of all the cracks out there? Then that sucks to everybody else who's using the DAW. I mean, it's not really something that, I don't even understand how this is something that's hard to understand. You shouldn't crack products because that's how companies partly go out of business. You know, if everybody's just going to go get the crack, how are they going to afford to pay the employees? That's something that y'all don't think about. They got to test. It's a bunch of hours. Like, when you're thinking about this, you're paying for over 20 years worth of work, right? So that's how you should think about this. FL Studio has been around for what, 22, 23 years or something like that. And you're paying for 23 years worth of work to get the DAW to where it's at. And you can get it for $99. So you can pay $99 for 20 something years worth of work. So I think that that's insane. And the same with like other plugins, like you don't understand how much time and effort it goes into making a plugin. So when you're trying to crack something like Omnisphere just because you can't afford it, you know how much time and effort it goes into all that sampling, making all those effects, making GUIs, making sure everything works properly. It's not like this is something that they're whipping together in a couple of weeks or a month. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's taking them years in order to produce. And so like it's frustrating when you hear people say stuff like, well, I should be able to crack it until I decide I want to buy it. No, you should know whether you want to buy it or not. They offer you a free trial that is good for life. So you can download FL Studio and have the free trial forever. It's not even like it's a 30-day free trial or a 60-day free trial. It is a free trial for life. Yeah, you can't open up projects, but all you have to do is export your stems out and then you can put them back in. So you don't even have to crack the software. You can just use it. And then what's even more irresponsible is sharing the crack with potentially, thousands to millions of people. So now you're taking all this money out of FL Studio's mouth. So there's probably people who were going to buy the product when they got the money. Then they're not going to buy it now. You know what I'm saying? Or the excuse of stuff like, well, plug-in companies or whatever don't offer free trials, so I should be able to crack it to figure out if I want to buy it. Or the excuse of, well, 2 weeks isn't enough time for me to figure out if I want to buy something. That's so immature. That's like so immature thought process, because you can't go anywhere else and get a free trial. You can't go to McDonald's and then order a freaking number 5 and then leave with it and be like, I'm not sure if I'm going to pay for it because I'm not sure if I want it yet. You can't do that. You can't go to the store and just take clothes off the freaking rack and then take them home and be like, I'll pay for them in the future at some point in time, and then keep going back and keep going back and keep going back and taking clothes and not paying for it. You can't go anywhere and just take stuff and then decide you're going to pay for it when you want to pay for it. Or like the example that I heard of, like, your friends are using it, so you want to use it because your friends are using it. I got friends that use all kinds of different DAWs. I don't want to use Ableton because the homie uses Ableton. I don't want to use Logic because the homie uses Logic. When I didn't have the money for FL Studio, I used other DAWs. I used Cubase 3 forever because I had paid for it. So I just used it forever. So it's like, there's so many excuses going around why it's okay to try to pirate and crack stuff, when at the end of the day, none of that is okay. How would you feel if you created something and somebody stole it from you and then gave it to the whole world and you didn't get any compensation for it? Or this excuse of, we're promoting your brand by making YouTube videos or Instagram videos or whatever kind of videos you are, and then putting it on your platform, and now we're promoting FL Studio. No, you're trying to make money. And so that's what you're trying to do to make money, or blow up your socials, or to get a following, or whatever the case is. So it's like, you think that you're able to use this product in order to build a brand, in order to make some money, and then FL Studio doesn't get any compensation. You think the compensation is you making videos. No, that's not compensation for them. They're not getting paid off your videos. You're getting paid off your videos. So in my opinion, I think that the whole crack game, pause, I guess, I don't know, it's out of control, So instead of just going hard and not giving you guys any solutions, I'm gonna give you guys a couple solutions, right? So you have so many different free DAWs you can use. You can use Cakewalk, right? You can use Bandcamp, Cakewalk. All you gotta do is sign up for a Bandcamp account, and it's a DAW. You can use it. It's a decent DAW. You can make sounds, you can record music, you can do all kinds of stuff. But if that's not enough for you, here's 14 other free DAWs that you can use, and the DAWs aren't bad. So you can get a copy of Ableton Live Lite, right? You can use that. You can get a copy of Cubase LE, right? You can get a copy of Reaper. Now, Reaper is only going to be good for 60 days, but it's only $60. So you can pay $60 for the DAW if you like it, If not, you can get something else. You can get GarageBand. You can get LMMS. It's not on this list, but you can get that. Waveform Free is a really solid free DAW that you can use, right? You can get that. Pro Tools Intro, you can use that. Luna's fire. If you have a MacBook, Luna is really solid. They're still working out the bugs on the Windows one, but it still works. And they give you sounds with it and everything. They give you really good sounds with this one as well. So it's another free DAW. I would definitely recommend this one, or Waveform, Traction Waveform. Magic's Music Maker, you can use that. You can use SoundBridge. You can use Audacity to record. You can use Studio One 6 Prime. You can use MPC Beats. I've done a bunch of tutorials on this to teach you how to make beats, and they're about to update this probably to MPC 3, where it's going to be linear, so it's going to be more like a regular DAW too. And they've got sounds in here that you can use. You've got Podium Free. You've got Serato Studio, which you can use and you can make a bunch of beats in, and this is fire too as well. So there's so many different options of free DAWs out there that you can use. Or if you're looking for substitutes for plugins, again, you can check my channel. I've given you guys so many free plugins over the time. And again, that's why I do that, is to give you guys solutions. So like, you're looking for something orchestral. All you got to do is go check out Spitfire Labs. You're looking for a substitute for Serum. All you got to do is go get Vital. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. There's so many different plugins that you can use that are free that will basically take over for those paid plugins, and you can make good music with these free plugins and these free DAWs. I always give you guys beat demonstrations. They may not be the greatest beats on earth, but you can get a really good sound using this free stuff, and I demonstrate it for you so that you guys can see it. So I guess that's enough on that topic, but I just feel like it's very irresponsible for influencers and content creators to justify cracking plugins. You don't be telling these people how to steal stuff, because their account's going to end up like Eglu's and Eglo, whatever his name is, and they're going to get deleted off of all social media. Another thing that we complain about a lot of times is the updates and the new plugins that come out, or the new version of a piece of gear that comes out, or something like that, where a lot of times people feel like they should get the update for free, or they feel like they should get the update for cheaper, or whatever the case is. But it's like, again, not every update or upgrade is for you. Like a lot of times, like let's talk about Arturia for a second. Every year Arturia updates the V collection and the Effects collection, and they give you like 4 or 5 new plugins, like their instruments, and then they'll give you like 4 or 5 different effects. Now, I understand for a lot of people, the upgrade plan may be like $200, and you don't want to pay $200 for the 5 new plugins. That's fine. Don't get it. Just wait till next year. And then next year, there'll be 8 plugins in there, and you can get it then, because typically they sell those plugins individually for $100 each. So if they're trying to sell you, the upgrade for $200, at least they're giving you half off of what they're charging for those plugins. So, or if it's something like this Arturia Keylab 49, there was a lot of people mad because they took away some features, but they added a lot of dope stuff. The keys feel good to me. The pads feel better than ever. The pads feel better than the pads on my MPC 37 and on my Roland SP404. So it's like they've upgraded all this other stuff, and they're still trying to give you the board at the same prices that they were giving it to you for before. So a lot of things that we don't think about as the consumer is, maybe it costs them too much money to give you all these features, all these functions, and then give you the new stuff that they're giving in the board too. So they're trying to figure out what's the best thing that they can put into this new board and give it out for the same price. Because you know how we are. If they try to charge $700 for a board they've been charging $500 for, we're going to complain and say it's overpriced. Or be like, that's not fair, or whatever the case is. And we're going to complain about the board and all this other stuff. Well, maybe the new board just isn't for you. If you like all the old features in the old board, just keep the old board. You don't have to upgrade to a new MIDI keyboard every time a MIDI keyboard comes out. You don't have to upgrade to the new plugin every time a new plugin comes out. You don't have to get the next thing every time it comes out. Another big complaint that people always complain about is RX every year. So every year they're like, oh, RX needs more, it's too expensive. Just don't buy it. If you're satisfied with the RX that you already have, why do you need the next version of RX? Why does Isotope have to make it cheaper for you guys? You know what I'm saying? They're going to offer you a discount, but why do they have to make it cheaper? They don't. And so I think a lot of times we as the musicians, or we as the consumers, want more from these companies, not understanding how much time and effort they have to pay people. I think a lot of times us as musicians don't understand that they're running a business, so they have to pay other people too. So they have to pay people for their time and their effort in order to develop all this stuff. And it's not like this is some stuff it's really easy to do, or me and you would be doing it. We would all be doing it. So I feel like that's something that we have to cut down in the community, is just the complaining about everything. We just complain about everything. Or like samples, for instance. Like there was a huge issue with Kyle Beats made that video about free samples and blah, 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 blah. Well, if you don't understand after watching that video why most producers don't want to give you royalty-free beats, it's because a lot of times all the producers are doing is just taking this sample, slapping some drums on it, and then trying to sell it. And so it's like, do you think that the person who made the sample originally shouldn't get paid, and all you did was just slap some drums on it and send it to somebody? Or you made a song that was catchy and then it blew up, but without that sample, it wouldn't have blown up? Nah, you should pay everybody who's a part of the whole entire process. And that's why a lot of people are always going to be like, they're not royalty free. Or y'all know how it is on Reddit. Y'all share everybody's kits. So it's like, how am I going to debate with you whether you bought the kit or not? How can I, you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't even pay for it. So it wasn't even royalty free for you. It was royalty free for the person that paid for it. But since you got it out of this Reddit community, now you're using it and you're making money off of it or doing whatever it is that you're doing with the sample. So I just feel like there's a lot of entitlement in the community, man. I feel like all this stuff should be common sense. All this stuff should be like, it should be common sense. It should be common sense that you have to pay for the tools you have to use, right? How would you feel again if you made a beat, somebody stole your beat, they made $1 million off your beat, you didn't get a penny for it? How would you feel? Just be honest with yourself. How would you feel? You'd feel like crap. So I know this video is probably going to get a bunch of negative comments down in the comment section. I know a bunch of y'all about to go rogue. I know a bunch of y'all are going to give excuses as to why you feel it is okay to use cracked software, and it's not. So like all the excuses that you give in the comment section below, it's just an excuse, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just wait till you got the money for it. Find another tool. Use another tool. There's plenty of tools out there that can give you some fire sounds, that can give you some fire beats. You just have to learn how to use the software. And that's the problem, is that y'all want to do everything the easy way. When I started making music, 26 years ago, you had to have a Phantom. You had to have like a motif. So you had to have like this $2,000 board in order to make beats. You know, you had to have freaking Pro Tools to record into or a standalone device. And then you had to have a nice mic. You had to have good stuff because all the other stuff sounded like crap. Cheap microphones sounded like crap. You know, cheap interfaces and preamps and all that stuff sounded like crap in the 90s. So you had to buy nice stuff if you wanted a good sounding anything. And so now we're at a point where music has been so revolutionized by technology, it just takes $99 to get your foot in the door to make some beats. I mean, really, you can do it for free, but with FL Studio, it just takes $99 to get your foot in the door and start making music, opposed to thousands of dollars that people had to pay in the past. And think about $2,000 in 1997 versus $2,000 now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's so much more money back then, because with the cost of inflation and everything like that. Those same boards nowadays would be $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. So I know this rant went left field, but I just feel like we in the producer community, we need to stop stealing and stop complaining about sharing money with people. You know what I'm saying? If you're making money. So that's what I got for you guys today. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell. So every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some hit the key.